some breaking inputs coming in at this point in time. A massive political controversy has erupted over the big decision of U.S. Supreme Court striking down Trump's tariffs and the fallout, because nobody knows what's going to happen really next. After Supreme Court ruling, tariff on India has dropped from 18% to 10%, because remember, yesterday when President Trump addressed the media, he spoke about that he is going to impose a 10% global tariff, and then there was an order that came from the White House suggesting that the countries that have finalized trade deal with the United States of America or in the process of doing so, for them the tariff is going to come down to 10%. Congress party, on the other hand, has launched a blistering attack, calling it total surrender by the Prime Minister. Congress MP Jairam Ramesh claims government rushed into the trade agreement with the U.S. to save face, sacrificing the interest of Indian farmers. Congress alleges that had the Prime Minister waited for just 18 more days, the U.S. Supreme Court ruling would have given India a much stronger hand. Another Congress leader asked if the Modi government will now show courage to walk out of a one-sided U.S.-India trade deal. Listen into these reactions from the opposition.
The 6-3 verdict of the U.S. Supreme Court is a message to all constitutional courts around the world that they are charged with the responsibility of checking executive excess. And if the judiciary does not step up to the plate or does not perform its duty, then democracies turn into autocracies. So therefore, the decision of the U.S. Supreme Court is a welcome decision.
देखिए, पहले जिस तरह से इंडिया पे लगभग 3% टैरिफ लगता था और अब ये सब नियम कानून बदलने के बाद माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश के बाद भी 10% टैरिफ लग रहा है, जो कि ज्यादा भी है। लेकिन चूंकि पूरी दुनिया में टैरिफ को लेके बवाल मचा हुआ था, ट्रम्प पूरी दुनिया के मार्केट पे कब्जा करना चाहते थे, तो उसको लेके जो अमेरिकी सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला है वो स्वागत योग्य है। लेकिन ये जरूर है कि जो टैरिफ है, जो पहले 3% के लगभग लगता था, वो 10% लगेगा, तो इंडिया को कोई बहुत राहत नहीं है।
So those are the reactions we got from the opposition, and on the broadcast I'm joined by Tom Varakan of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We also have with us my colleague Rishabh joining us live right now. But Mr. Tom Varakan, to you first, good afternoon. Thank you for speaking with us here on Times Now. After what happened in the United States of America, in the last couple of hours, the sense we are getting from the opposition here is that the government perhaps was in a hurry to finalize the trade deal with the United States of America. And several opposition leaders have said that why couldn't the government really wait for the U.S. Supreme Court ruling in this regard?
What can one say for a political party which is not about democracy, but this is idiocracy, full of idiots, and who are not up to date on the situation that prevail? Especially leader of the opposition is in such a great hurry to talk about something which he doesn't understand. So let us not pay much attention to him, because he says Prime Minister has been compromised. The person who stands compromised today is Rahul Gandhi. He has been totally compromised by what he said on the Army General. He's been totally compromised on what his men were directed to do at the Pragati Maidan event. Now, all this adds up to the compromise that he's in. So let us not, give credit to what he says and does, because this party, the Congress party, is full of idiots or directed by idiots and controlled by another set of idiots.
All right, we'll leave it there. Mr. Tom Varakan, appreciate you speaking with us here on Times Now and sharing with us your perspective. Now, viewers, let's tell you what has happened in the United States of America. It is being seen as a major legal setback for U.S. President Donald Trump. The American Supreme Court has ruled that global tariffs that were imposed unilaterally by him are illegal. The ruling invalidated his use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose tariffs without congressional approval. As expected, Donald Trump criticized that decision, calling it deeply disappointing and saying he was ashamed of certain members of the court. While this came as a major relief for several countries within hours of Supreme Court judgment, Trump has now hit back. He has a plan B. He has signed an executive order imposing a 10% tariff on imports from all countries. It's a 10% global tariff that he has announced. He announced yesterday in the press conference, and this will come into effect from February 24. Listen in.
In order to protect, and it says so, in order to protect our country, a president can actually charge more tariffs than I was charging in the past period of a year under the various tariff authorities. So we can use other of the statutes, other of the tariff authorities, which have also been confirmed and are fully allowed. Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs, they're existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices of other countries and companies. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and I say quite simply, which I've said for a long time, make America great again. And interestingly, we've already made it great, so I don't have to use that, but I don't think we'll ever give up on MAGA. MAGA is always going to be with us.
Let's now move on and